Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we're going to be talking about a Floristry. This is designed by David Gordon and Tam, and it is published by Up Games.
All right, this is a two-player web-driven game. You need to go to a certain website. There's a QR code that you can scan in the rulebook in order to get there. It's going to drive the entire game as far as your currency and the auctioning. So what you're doing is you are auctioning on these sets of flowers. You're going to be setting up displays in your competing flower shops. Basically, the end of the game is going to happen after 10 rounds, and you're going to compare to see who has the biggest selection of connected flowers out of these tiles. They're kind of like a domino-style tile where there's two halves to them, one flower on each side of the tile. And you're trying to make these groupings of all these tiles because you're going to, based off of this nice little sandwich board, you're going to see a scoring opportunities chart. And on that scoring chart, you're going to see each flower. You're going to compare your biggest group, and you're going to score that. And it's all going to be done by the app, which is really nice. And then there's a scoring tracker around your board as well. The app's going to remind you when and how to do everything. And then also at the end of the game, whoever has spent the most amount of money is going to get penalized because the other person might get a chance to gain some money based off of how much more money than they have than the person who spent so much money. This features, the app kind of runs this Dutch auction for you, where the prices go down and down and down, starting at 5, then 4, then 3, and then whenever you want to strike, if you want those tiles, you're willing to pay a higher price for them, you have to press that your side of the board as fast as possible, and it's going to register who chose, and it's going to take that money away from you, but you are going to be able to choose 3 out of the available 4 tiles, and the last tile is going to go to the other player for free. And keep on building it out. After 10 rounds, it's kind of everything up. Whoever has the most points wins the game.
I really like when an app or website or something like this does a lot of the bookkeeping for you and makes it easier to play the game. I really like that. But another thing that this does, which I think is extremely helpful in a game like this, is it eliminates any argument. Like you can't, when you play any of those Slack games and you're like, no, you were last, no, you were last. You can't do that in this because the game records when you touch it. So you can't argue about it because the game's like, no, you get it. Like you lost. This person beat you to tapping, obviously. And then it keeps track of the money for you so you don't have to figure out how much it is. Or, it was actually going to be $2. No, you hit it $3. No, the game just does that. So I really like that it keeps track of it for you without being the game, but it also eliminates any argument that could come.
All right, so when you're drafting these tiles, you're kind of placing them adjacent to other tiles that you've already drafted. You kind of start with a border around your tiles, but then you have a chance to kind of shift it. So maybe as you draft tiles, naturally the way things want to go and the way the scoring is going to be best for you is you kind of grow off to the top left. But then what you can do is you can kind of shift your board that way too. As long as it's confined within that border, that framing, you're good to go. So you can kind of build this in whatever direction you think is going to be the most beneficial for your scoring opportunities, which I think is a really cool feature. Sometimes you kind of your starting tile is your center tile and build around that or whatever. No, as long as it fits somewhere within this frame, you're good to go.
There's also this little sandwich board in the game, and all it does is it has this little board, different colored flowers, and then it lets you know what groupings are going to get you what amount of points. And I actually referenced that a lot during the gameplay when the tiles were first put out there. I was looking at my board, looking at that, and trying to blend that all together before the countdown started. I thought it was extremely helpful to see that and to always just kind of have it in my view throughout the entire game.
If you're playing against someone who's very aggressive and they're constantly outbidding you, I could see how that would almost be frustrating. But the thing is, you still get something. No matter what, even if they just beat you by a millisecond to get to that auction, even if you were willing to pay full price or whatever, but they just keep on beating you, you still get some tile. And in fact, it's free. So no matter what, you're still going to be able to grow your flower display. And on top of that, at the end of the game, because you have more money than them, probably because they were outbidding you a lot of times, you're also going to get rewarded in terms of points for that. So no matter what your play style is, there's scoring opportunities within that play style. So I like that you're never just like, I don't get to do anything this round. On top of that, this game is lightning fast. Because the app takes care of so much of the bookkeeping, you are ready to play again instantly. It's
Yeah.
super fast.
Yeah, and it's not an app. It's just easier for us to say that because I wanted to make it to where you didn't have to put another thing on your phone if you didn't want to. So whenever we say app, we're not actually talking about
You don't have to
an
download
app.
anything. It's just a free website.
Yes, I don't, but it's just like easier for us to say that. Overall, I really enjoyed this. It is super light. It is an extremely light game. I really enjoyed getting a preview of this at Gen Con, and I'm so happy to see its completion right now. It is such a cute little game. It's really the definition of like streamlined. This is a really streamlined game. It's super cute and it's super light, and I think it really works.
This is adorable. I absolutely love the little kitten scoring pawns. They have names in the back, and I have a feeling they're based off of real animals. They're too fun of names to not be based off of real animals. On top of that, the website does so much for you. You don't have to even think about how much money you have. You just look, oh, that's how much I have left over still. That's fantastic. The gameplay is quick, but it is all pure game because you don't have to do any of the weird stuff. You don't have to do any of the, okay, now I gotta shuffle, now I have to count this or that. It's just, what that little 5-10 minute gameplay is pure gameplay. Another thing is, I'm willing to play this back to back every time. And if you ask Bethany or anybody else that I game with, I hate playing games back to back. Even my favorite games. My favorite number one game of all time is, let's say, I'm not going to say what it is, but Game X. I love Game X. But if I played it, I don't need to play it again for a month.
Move on to the next one.
That's just how I think. This one, I'm in. Give it to me again. It's another 5-minute little hit of adrenaline. I love it.
Yeah.
And it's very cute, very fun.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. Until then, you can find us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
You guys, thanks so much for watching. This game was provided to us by a publisher in exchange for a fair and honest review.
And if you want to see more stuff, check out over here to see something we think you might like.
And over here, we think that YouTube has picked out a great video for you you're going to love. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.